Hello, good to have you here again with me on one of my kitchen talks. I'm trying something new. You'll notice the little earphones in my ears. We'll see if that picks up the audio better. Anyway, good to have you here. Have you ever questioned God? Have you ever wondered about faith? Have you ever doubted? Did you know that faith and doubt are two sides of the same coin? We always doubt and we always have faith. They're together. They kind of mesh together. And sometimes we have great faith and little doubt. And sometimes, man, those doubts tend to overwhelm us. And it seems like our faith goes down. And is that okay? Is it all right to be that way? Is the wrestling with God and wrestling with questions about faith, is that okay? Well, the Bible is full of questions about God and questions to God. And the Psalms, which are praises and prayers to God, a third of those are prayers of lament, prayers of questioning God, prayers of God. Why are you allowing this to happen? And are you listening to me at all? Habakkuk was a prophet in the Old Testament. You'll probably have to look in the index to find out where he was in the Old Testament because it's a small book. But he complains to God, and he writes this in Habakkuk chapter 1. He says, "How long, O Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen?" How long? You can hear the kind of the desperation in Habakkuk's voice as he cries out to God. Now, there are really three common responses that we have when we have crisis in our lives. We're crying out to God, and one is simply to ignore the crisis and to gloss it over and to believe that, everything is positive and everything is good, and we just kind of deny it. And that doesn't take us very far, because the reality is that oftentimes life hurts. And then there's a second response, which I hope none of us take, and that is simply to deny our faith, to say, you know what? These questions are too big and too overwhelming, and it seems like my prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, and God isn't listening, and so therefore I'm just going to say, you know what, I don't believe in God anymore, and go a completely different direction. But another option is, in which I believe Habakkuk teaches us, if we read through the book of Habakkuk, is simply to wrestle with these deep questions, but at the same time embrace the faith that we have in God. In other words, I can trust God even though I don't understand everything that's going on. I can trust God that He loves me even though what is happening in my life right now doesn't feel like love at all. Another great example of that is Jesus Himself. Jesus on the cross, He cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" You see, Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane embraces God, right? He embraces faith. He embraces trust when He says, "God, may your will be done and not mine." He's saying, "God, I trust you." That's what embracing God is. That's what having faith is. But then on the cross, it doesn't mean He didn't embrace God. It doesn't mean He stopped trusting in God. But at the same time, He's wrestling. And He's saying, my God, where are you? I need you right now with me. And yet you are not here. My God, where are you? So embracing faith while at the same time wrestling. We can do that. And it doesn't mean that we are going off the deep end or we're losing our faith or somehow God's going to be angry about our questions. No, it's part of our walking. In fact, I believe that true intimacy with God, or the most holy of holy moments, is not necessarily lived on the mountaintop of faith, but actually when we have faith in the valleys, when we're going through the valley of the shadows, whatever that might be. It might be death, it might be separation, it might be financial difficulty, it might be health, whatever that valley is, when we can cry out to God and have faith, even in the valley. Man, it is there that we experience the holy of holiest moments. And I believe God treasures those moments. So it's okay to wrestle. Let us continue to embrace. Let us continue to walk. Let us continue to grab a hold of the Lord, because He has a hold of us. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.